Ryan, you want to take roll for us?
Yes, I will. Hardman,
Present.
Hudson,
Present.
Trevelyan, McKinney,
Here.
and Trimble.
Here.
We have 4 members present in the chambers and 1 online.
All right, Ryan, any changes to the agenda?
There is one change to the order of items on the agenda. Items 4K1 and 4K2, order construction items, are being pulled from consent agenda, and item 5C is issuance of bonds. Those 3 items are all being moved to the end of the agenda following the closed sessions.
Move approval of the agenda as amended.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Amended agenda is approved. Item 2 is citizens forum, which is a time for anyone in the audience would like to address the city council on any item that's not part of public hearings or new business. And if you're on the phone with us, make sure you hit *6 to unmute yourself. Okay. Hearing, we'll move on to council, city manager. And hold it.
Martin Demmer here on behalf of MediaCom. I wanted to.
If you want to speak as a part of citizens forum, you need to come up here and give us your name and your address.
Wanted to deliver a written statement from MediaCom related to what were previously items 4K1 and 4K2. I assume now is a good time to do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. My firm, I'm an attorney with Faegre Drinker here in Des Moines. And as you may know, my firm represents MediaCom in its lawsuit against the city of West Des Moines. As I'm sure the city council knows, MediaCom's lawsuit alleges, among other things, that the city's urban renewal plan to build the conduit network and its use of general obligation bonds and bond proceeds to do so violates various provisions of the Iowa Code. We thus believe that the planned expenditures contemplated by items K1 and K2 of the agenda would be unlawful if approved. Our broader concern is that if the city proceeds with its plans for the conduit network and MediaCom prevails in its lawsuit, then further bond issuances and expenditures related to the conduit network will be enjoined, and holders of bonds already issued could pursue rescission or other available remedies. It's thus entirely foreseeable that West Des Moines taxpayers could end up paying millions of dollars unlawfully raised or spent to support a conduit network that may never be completed. We believe the City Council has a duty to mitigate that risk by tabling further bond issuances and expenditures related to the conduit network until the MediaCom litigation has been resolved. I would close by saying that MediaCom has faithfully served the city of West Des Moines for many years. It has offices here and it has hundreds of employees who live and work in the city. MediaCom wants the city to prosper and to avoid the potential financial problems that may come if the city pushes ahead with the conduit network while litigation is pending. So on MediaCom's behalf, I would therefore urge the city to err on the side of caution, to table items K1 and K2, and to refrain from further expenditures related to the conduit network until the litigation is resolved. Thank you.
Ryan, would you like a copy of that? Do you need a copy of his?
Is this the one that you have, Dick?
Do you have it, Dick?
We did submit a letter to the city prior to the.
Okay, all right, if we've got it, then we're
Okay,
good then.
yep, we're good, thanks.
Okay, anyone else for citizens forum? Okay, we'll move on to mayor, city council, city manager reports. Matt?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, Kevin?
Nothing at this time.
Greg?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just as we wrap up this 2020 year, there were just a couple of things I wanted to say. I did want to thank the mayor and my 4 colleagues on the city council, Tom, Dick, Ryan, and Julius, as well as the department heads who answered seemingly every question, no matter how obscure, some from residents, some from me. So I just wanted to share that the first year on this city council has been an eventful one, but I'm very grateful for the support of the city staff. And one thing that has remained abundantly clear, the city of West Des Moines has an amazing staff that will work diligently to serve its citizens, to serve our community. And overall, I just wanted to share that our city is strong, our community is strong, and I especially wanted to thank the citizens who chose me for this position this past year. I'm grateful to have gotten to know you, and I look forward to having more conversations about our city in the coming year and beyond. And since our community is strong, I look forward to an even stronger 2021. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Renee?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. Hopefully people can hear me. We are going to be celebrating Martin Luther King holiday on Friday, January 15th. It's just a couple weeks down the road here, so I want to just make that announcement. It's going to be an online event. It's going to be hosted by the City of West Des Moines and the Chamber. It will be 11:30 to 1. We're hoping that everyone will pipe in. During that time, we will announce the Youth Award recipient of the Martin Luther King Award and a scholarship, and an Adult Achievement Martin Luther King Award for an adult. So we're going to, this will be our first time honoring a youth. Mayor will get together with you regarding the proclamation so that it's a part of that event. So we're asking you to plug in January 15th, 11:30 to 1 for an event that is our Martin Luther King citywide celebration. On the 18th is the city's official celebration. There'll be a live stream event that will be going on as well. So that's on the website. So just want to thank the chamber and the full committee. Lots of folks from West Des Moines Park and Recs. They have just been wonderful, absolutely wonderful in helping plan this event, Sally. So please give kudos to your team for all of their work and that. So excited that we are going to be celebrating. And then I did have a library meeting with the trustees last week. And there was a vote made that they will close the library until January the 11th. They're hoping they'll open it up on the 11th, so there'll be just curbside service only. So again, they're trying to keep safe and keep citizens safe, but yet still have people have access to the library. So wanted to share that news and also let everyone know I'm excited about 2021 and looking forward to a healthier year for everyone and that we can get some sense of normalcy. But thanks for a good year in light of all the challenges that we have faced. You guys have done an enormous amount of work in light of it, and I'm extremely appreciative, as well as I know my colleagues. Thank you.
Okay, Russ, any council report?
No report at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Tom?
No report, Your Honor.
All right, a quick one from me. I had the privilege of swearing in three new police officers last Friday, and we continue to do a great job on diversity. There was a female officer and 2 African-American officers. It was a first for me, and I think Chief Scott said the same thing. At one of the officers, when his fiance was pinning his badge on, he proposed to her.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that was,
Did she say yes?
yeah, I think she said yes. We asked to hear again, but yeah, it was.
Public to see, right?
Yeah, so that was a new one for all of us. So appreciate all the efforts that we're doing on hiring great people and diversifying our police department. Item 4, the consent agenda. We're going to take up, as Ryan mentioned, items 4K1 and 4K2 after the executive session, but are there any other items on the consent agenda that anyone wants to pull?
Yes, 401, please.
Okay. All right, you want to move the rest, Matt?
Move the rest.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. 401 is a resolution to establish a public hearing regarding the final design site selection and consideration of acquiring agricultural property for the Microsoft Ginger West project.
I'd like to abstain for a potential conflict.
Okay. Someone want to move that, Ben?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, and we'll show Matt abstaining on
Thank you.
401. All right, item 5, old business, 5A, Cascade Apartments, southwest corner of Cascade Avenue and South 81st Street. Rezone the property from residential medium density to residential high density. Consistent with the comprehensive plan, SM Cascades LLC and SM Heritage Hills LLC. It's an ordinance for the second, third reading, final adoption. There are no changes from the first reading.
Move consideration of the second reading.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, Ryan?
5 yes, an ordinance amending the official zoning map in the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending Title IX zoning, Chapter 4 zoning districts and map.
Move approval of the second reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right,
Move approval of the third reading and adopt in final form.
Second.
all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that ordinance is approved. 5B, amendment to City Code Title 9 zoning, Chapter 3, general zoning provisions, define exceptions to building height regulations for portions of the building not intended for occupancy, city initiated. This also is an ordinance for the second, third reading, and final adoption. There are no changes from the first reading.
Move consideration of second reading.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, Ryan.
5 yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending Title 9 zoning, Chapter 3, general zoning provisions to allow for limited exceptions to building height regulations.
Move approval of second reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right.
Move waiving the third reading and adopt in final form.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That ordinance is approved. Item 5C, 1 and 2 will take up after executive session. Item 6, public hearings. Item 6A, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider conveyance of property to Store Master Funding 3 LLC, a portion of Lot H, Linwell, and a portion of 4th Street right-of-way initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
December 10th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience that would like to address the City Council on item 6A. Okay, hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. It's a resolution to approve the conveyance of property. And there are no issues.
Move approval of the resolution.
Second.
Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the conveyance is approved. Item 6B. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Ashworth Road Reconstruction Phase 4, initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
December 11th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council on item 6B. Okay, hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. And these, we've got 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together, and this came through the Public Services City Council Committee.
I move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I just want to say this came through the Public Services Committee, and this is something we talked about at length for a while, and appreciate Brian and everybody bringing us the opportunity to allow this bridge to remain open during the duration of the construction. I know that was an issue, but I'm glad to see that we found a way to do that. So just want to say thank you. I think it's a good project.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, those items are approved. Item 6C, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Mid-American Energy Rexplex exterior signage initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
December 11th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have you received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on item 6C. All right, hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Again, we have 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together.
Move for approval of resolution.
So
Is there a second?
I've got a question.
Okay. Second. All right, question, Matt?
Yeah, so I know that the next item, 6D, as in David, is for the interior signage, and it sounds like we're going to kind of move that out, or the recommendation is to defer the award of contract for 2 weeks. I guess my question relates to the fact that typically, when the more you buy, the better you get, in terms of if you're going to do 1 sign versus 10 signs, sometimes you can get a bulk discount or a better deal. And so I'm just wondering, by not doing this as a package deal or not doing them together, what is the impact financially, or, has that been evaluated? Just try to better understand it.
Sally Orkey's Director of Parks and Recreation. We have James Moore with Shive Hattery on the line, so I think I'll turn that question to James.
Okay.
Hi, I'm James Moore from Shive Hattery. I've worked with the city as the Recplex owner's representative since November of 2018. The decision was made to bid these two packages separately simply because there was a large interest going into the bidding in the projects, and typically we do not see the same vendors bid both interior and exterior signage. There's enough difference in the construction methodologies and materials that we often see those going to different individuals. It does not turn out to be the case here after we've received bids, but we do not think that there was any cost savings lost by having these packages bid separately.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else have any other questions or comments? Other than James, the sun's still out at the Rexplex, and it's dark here.
It's always sunny out there. We wish they'd keep working.
All right. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, those items are approved. Item 6D, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Mid-American Energy Rexplex interior signage initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
December 11th, 2020, in the Des Moines Register.
Have you received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6D. Okay, hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have a resolution to approve the plans and specs, a motion to receive and file the report of bids, and a motion to defer the award of contracts for 2 weeks.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
What do you think moving it 2 weeks is going to do? Why wouldn't we just put this out for rebid?
All right, James, you're on again.
We'll let James answer.
Okay.
So one of the 2 weeks we are using to try to work with the parent low bidder to try to get better information concerning the discrepancies between what we estimated and what how their bids came in, trying to identify what factors in construction or timing influenced their work that we were not aware of. We, in a preliminary conversation today that started that discovery process, we learned that one of the primary factors was simply a short duration and timeline to prepare and construct and install the quantity of signs associated with the interior building package, both code required signage for room identification, as well as wayfinding at such a large facility. By rebidding this project, you would simply compress that time frame even further and possibly push us into a situation where we could not get the signage required for occupancy constructed and installed in time for the desired opening date.
Okay, then why push it to 2 weeks? Because if you're going to accept, or basically come back in 2 weeks and say that we accept their bid for $425,000, let's push it back 2 weeks.
We recognize that delay compresses that timeline slightly. We wanted to be able to come to city council with firm facts about where those discrepancies lay, as opposed to guesses or suppositions as to what might have caused the differences. And so we decided to request the 2 weeks so that we could get firm answers and come to the city with facts, not guesses.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, those items are approved. Item 7, new business. 7A, Midtown redevelopment, 1221, 1245, 1261 8th Street. Subdivide property into 3 lots for commercial development and 1 street lot. JGC Holdings LLC, it's a resolution to approve and release the final plat, and there are no outstanding issues.
Move approval and release the plat.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the final plat's approved and released. Item 7B, M&W Mini Storage, 2001 Grand Avenue, approval of site improvement plan compliant with the plan unit development requirements, MHC 80, Des Moines, Iowa LLC. It's a resolution to approve the site improvement plan. There are no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I'd just say this came before Development and Planning, I think, earlier this year. And this was a project where I think there were a lot of different hurdles to clear. And the way that the developer here approached it was, I think, very reasonable. And I'm glad to see this finally moving forward.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the site improvement plan is approved. Item 7C, Union 315 mixed use, 309, 313, 315 Fifth Street. Approval of a site plan to allow construction of a 3-story mixed-use building. Taxium LLC, it's a resolution to approve the site plan. There are no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That item is approved. 7D, Hatton Storage Building, 1725 Allstate Court. Approval of a major modification for the construction of a storage building. Hatton Company LLC, it's a resolution to approve a major modification. There are no outstanding issues.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That item is approved. Item 7E, Microsoft DSM 11, 5855 Southwest Cary Street, approval of a major modification for construction of one additional 241,000 square foot data center building, Microsoft Corporation. Resolution to approve the major modification. And
Move
there are
approval.
no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That item's approved. 7F, Corel Contractor, 1300 Lincoln Street. Approval of a minor modification to allow installation of fuel tanks. Corel Dixieland LC, this is a resolution to approve the minor modification, and there are no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Well, now that I see Mike Witzel walk in, I am going to ask this question. Mike, what was the reason, maybe you don't know, but back in 98, when this was approved and it said 1,100 gallons was what was allowed, what changed now that allows them 10,000 gallons? And maybe you can.
Yeah, so I'm with AgriLand. We're the fuel provider for Corel Construction. So the current issue we're facing right now, Corel Contractors is growing massively in your community. Our duty as a fuel provider right now, we're bringing a truck full of diesel fuel every night through the city of West Des Moines on your streets. Our duty would be to provide safe transport of that fuel. We don't feel comfortable bringing a transport load of fuel every single night. What we'd like to do is put a 10,000 gallon double wall tank there. That allows us to bring one load per week versus every single night and transporting the fuel that way. So we had got it approved by planning and zoning. We have a letter from the fire department that they agreed with it, and then the state fire marshal also was in agreement with the tank being in that location.
Okay, but my question was, what changed with West Des Moines that went from 1,100 to 10,000 allowed now? Mike? Thank you. That's good.
Mike Witzel, Fire Marshal. In answer to your question, Councilman, it has to do with technology. When we started storing fuel in tanks, we did not have the technology that we do now. We have the ability to do leak detection, breakaway hoses, double-walled tanks, and just like he was saying, it's a lot cheaper. Also safer to have one fuel tank come in, have more storage there, rather than have those fuel tankers coming and constantly unloading. So we're able to confidently say that we can ask for that variance. In fact, in our code tonight, we are trying to up that as well for other people in those industrial
So
areas.
is there going to be a monitoring system that if the double wall tank leaks, that we know about it
Yes, there is.
immediately?
There's interstitial monitoring.
Yep.
Okay. And the reason for my question for this is I was pretty familiar with it, but I just wanted everybody else that's in the viewing audience and going to see this online to know why it's gone 10 times the amount that's allowed. Because I know on construction sites, they have to meet those same requirements, but it's for a temporary thing, so.
Correct. And again, with that ability to monitor it for leak detection, it does offset that fear.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions or comments on 7F? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That item passes. 7G, Fox Ridge, south of Veterans Parkway and west of Fox Valley, plat of survey for transfer of ownership. Charles I. and Ruth Colby Investment Trust. It's a resolution to approve and release a plat of survey, and there are no outstanding issues.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, just a couple of notes. I know there were some residents who were wondering about what the density and zoning would be down in these areas and this particular plot, and I know that we've been working with them to ensure that we have a good flow from the previous neighborhood to the future neighborhood. Also, on another note, I know the Norwalk School District, since West Des Moines is extending into Warren County, right? I know that the the Norwalk School District is really, really excited to have more and more neighborhoods come down there, so we can have students who are attending the Norwalk school. So, really excited for to continue to develop down there.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, that item passes. 7H, Amendment to City Code Title 4, Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 3, Fire Code, adopt the International Fire Code 2018 edition with local amendments, and repeal the International Fire Code 2015 edition with local amendments, city initiated. This is an ordinance for the first reading, and it came through the Public Safety Council Subcommittee as well.
Move consideration first reading.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, Ryan?
5 yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by repealing Title 4 Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 3 Fire Code, and in lieu thereof, adopting the 2018 edition of the International Fire Code.
Move approval first reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? First reading is approved. Item 8, we have one item to receive, file, and to refer. That's the West Des Moines Waterworks 2021 budget. Item 9, other matters. Are there any other matters that any council member would like to raise tonight? Okay. Hearing none, we will adjourn into executive session, and because of social distancing, we need to stay in this room. So we would ask anyone on the line that is interested in items 4K1, K2, or 5C to remain on the line, and once the executive session is over, then we'll reopen it up to take public action on those 3 items. So please stay on the phone. If there's anybody in the council chambers that's interested in those items, we'd like you to wait out in the lobby, and we'll open the doors up again when we're ready to take those items up in a public meeting. Convene the December 21st, 2020 West Des Moines City Council meeting for items, consent agenda items 4K1, 4K2, and old business item 5C. So the first item is 4K1 is a resolution to order construction digital enterprise network segment 2 arterial conduit deployment. And this came through the Public Services Council subcommittee as well.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay.
Well, I guess I'm at a bit of a loss, given that there was there were activities during the, whether it was discussed or not discussed during the executive session. So I feel that I'm not in a position, obviously not participating in that I'm in a position to have all of the information available to make a decision on this particular issue. So I apologize. Obviously I don't have the benefit of that, and I don't feel that I can participate as a result.
Oh, that's fair. So I think you want to abstain then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, all in favor of 4K1, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And we'll show Councilman McKinney abstaining.
Thank you.
Item 4K2, resolution to order construction digital enterprise last mile conduit deployment segment 2, phase 1. This also came through the Public Services Council subcommittee.
Move approval.
Second.
Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? We'll show Councilman McKinney abstaining on that item.
Thank you.
Item 5C under old business, and this is, I think, the final funding of the Rexplex project. is the issuance of $16,240,000 of general obligation urban renewal bonds, taxable series 2021A, city initiated. We have two resolutions which we can take together.
Move approval.
Any other questions or comments on 5C?
Just for clarity, Mayor, does this in any way relate to anything that was discussed or anything that,
This is not. this
anything
is not-
related to
no,
this conduit or anything
No.
like that?
It's not.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of item 5C, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, item 5C is approved. I already asked if there's any other matters any council member wants to raise, and there were not. And so we will adjourn the December 21st meeting.